I'm Diego.
I'm Teagan.
We're here at Torchy's eating some tacos and some guacamole and some quesos, chips. Talk a little bit about electric vehicles and their development in the U.S. so far. So the way humans travel it's changing pretty fast with a lot of technological advances and a desperate need for cleaner vehicles. These machines are becoming smarter, more efficient, electric vehicles. But these electric vehicles, are they really the future of transportation?
Before we get into all that, let's start with the definition of what electric vehicles are. So, an electric vehicle, aka an EV, is a vehicle that is powered by electricity, usually in the form of electric motors or ion batteries. And unlike internal combustion engine cars, they don't produce air pollution or require gasoline, so it's a lot easier to maintain, and it's good for the environment.
So, in recent years, the development of electric vehicles has taken over part of the industry for a good bit of reasons. Vehicles are more environmentally friendly, meaning they do not produce as much air pollution. They have a smaller greenhouse gas footprint to burn the gasoline into the atmosphere, and they don't require the expenses of gasoline to travel. The first modern day electric vehicle was produced in the mid-1990s, known as the EV1, produced by General Motors, and with the first ever electric vehicle dating back to 1890. These vehicles were created because they're quiet, they're easy to drive, and they don't emit all the air pollution in the atmosphere, which helps save our environment.
So the public tends to like the production of electric vehicles because it helps the environment compared to internal combustion engine. But the downside of electric vehicles is that they're usually more expensive due to the fact that just production is more expensive. So, and again, more creative about electric vehicles. 67% of respondents say electric vehicles have a better impact on the environment. However, 66% of respondents also say that the cost of gas vehicles is better, more affordable than electric vehicles. Air pollution has effects on everyone's health, creates respiratory and heart problems, child health problems, and global warming. The British daily newspaper, The Guardian, says that 97% of homes in the UK are affected by dirty air pollution. In response to this, the UK government is making changes in hopes to decrease this statistic. One of the things they're doing is actually producing more electric vehicles in the UK, which will help bring down the statistic.
So, a survey from Climate Nexus found that 77% of people interviewed said they support electric vehicles, which includes 84% of Democrats, 75% of independents, and 70% of Republicans. In the same survey, across political lines, 44% would be more likely to consider an electric vehicle the next time they're looking to buy or lease a car. The U.S. government plans to end purchase of gas-powered vehicles by about 2035 in order to lower emissions and prompt electric cars under an executive order signed by President Joe Biden. Under the current law, consumers may receive up to about $7,500 in tax credit with the purchase of an electric vehicle.
On top of that, the states have been very supportive of the issue and trying to promote the use of electric vehicles. In almost all states, a few going above and beyond, provide and offer incentives of some sort to promote the purchasing of these electric vehicles. In Texas, there are many rebate programs for customers, whether it takes a particular company offering it for the entire state. The entire state of Texas, under the light-duty motor vehicle purchase or lease incentive program, provides rebates up to $5,000 for leasing and purchasing a new vehicle. Currently, Tesla is a leader for this issue and is influencing other companies and vehicle producers to join the cause.
As many of you have probably seen, you see people like, I think it was just Ford, just recently came out with a new electric vehicle. It's a truck, so that's a whole new section of electric vehicles. So the influence of Tesla is pretty strong, and hopefully we'll continue to influence other ones. Volkswagen's another one who has a lot of electric vehicles that have come out. They're currently the leader in profit in selling electric vehicles, not number, as Tesla still has that. But other companies are really doing it. So, in terms of media coverage, the movement towards the use of electric vehicles gets plenty of media coverage. Most of the media coverage seen by the public is advertisements. Obviously, you see like Super Bowl advertisements, just regular TV advertisements. You see plenty of Tesla, see all the Ford, they're putting their cars out there, all the electric vehicles. And another supporting factor in the movement to save the environment and use cleaner energy, which itself gets many news articles, TV recognition, radio input, and much more. The movement for clean energy is supported by the U.S. Department of Energy. It helps put information out to inform the public on the use of clean energy, which backs up the ideas that electric vehicles are the new revolution. The U.S. Department of Energy, they have a website, energy.gov. It's funded by this program, by this department, and this one large website which informs the public on all sorts of clean energy sources and benefits about them. They have solar energy, electric energy, everything possible about clean energy and renewable energy. So you can go there, see a whole bunch of stuff, obviously get all the articles about it, so it has plenty of media coverage.
I think we believe that the movement to begin using these in order to reduce greenhouse gas pollution and move towards clean energy is to use a fantastic social phenomenon that I believe should support. We do see flaws in the price range and the audience that appeals because of how much it costs to buy an electric vehicle and everything it takes to maintain the short run. So I've seen on Tesla before, when you buy a new Tesla, they charge an $8,000 gas fee, which it doesn't even take gas. It's just making up for the fact that you're not paying for gas. And however, I believe that for people to be hopping on board, they need to see the long-term effects that an electric vehicle could have for them, such as the contrast between gas car or gas vehicle prices and electric vehicle prices. Once people become more informed on how much money it saves, both the companies are able to create a more affordable price range for all drivers. Then we will see the uprise of the EV movement. The most important outcome is the improvement of air quality and slowing the rapid climate change issue.
Now I'm just going to jump on the price range. Many people are worried about how expensive the electric car is and installing the charger in the house, which in the short term it is pretty expensive. It might cost a couple $1,000, but there are obviously financial plans, so you don't have to pay it all up front. But then if you compare that to say gas prices, you're paying $50 to $100, especially with rising gas prices, for filling just your tank. And you fill your tank once, twice a week, depending on how much you drive. Over time, that just keeps accumulating. And so it is much cheaper when you don't have to actually pay for the gas, pay for any of that, when you just get an electric vehicle. And maybe in the short term it costs a lot, but in the long term you're not paying anywhere near as much. And for the maintenance, for an oil vehicle or a gas vehicle, it costs a little bit more than an electric vehicle. Anything to add?
Not really. Have you seen the new GMC? Like the crab walk?
Like a what?
Crab walk?
Crab walk?
Yeah.
It's an electric GMC?
Yeah, all the four wheels they turn like that.
So it's like you turn the wheel and the entire thing just like
yeah, the
rotates?
All four wheels turn at the same time. Instead of just the front two.
I've never seen that.
It's pretty weird.
Imagine you're backing out and you're just trying to turn your entire car, just turns and goes into like the side of your house because you're trying to back out the driveway. Personally, not a huge truck guy, but the electric truck for Ford, the new one, come on. See, I'm gonna look it up.
That was pretty cool.
Where is it? The 2022 Ford F-150 Lightning. I don't know if y'all have ever looked at what it looks like inside, or looked at the car in general. People who talk about, oh, you're ruining a truck. this thing is better than a normal truck. Like, I'd buy that. That's a nice car. And if you look at it, there's cheaper versions of it. The starting price for like the basic one's only like $35,000, which is like the price of a normal truck. Obviously, you can get a little bit more expensive, keep adding things, but that's every single vehicle. So it's not really that expensive. It's a nice truck, and it's clean driven. I'm a pretty big supporter of the electric vehicles.
Me too.
Obviously, I can't really buy one right now, but if I were to get my own car, I would probably get an electric vehicle.
Tesla. I would buy Tesla.
There are some nice Teslas. Got anything else you got to add?
I think we're covered.
Thank you for joining us in our podcast. See you next time.
See you next time.